Well, hello YouTubers. Not sure how well this is going to come out. Right now I'm sitting in my truck. I'm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, excuse me, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, at CRST headquarters. And I have something that I want to talk about, but before I do that, I want to mention something else. I was listening to a podcast today, and the person on that podcast mentioned September 11th, but he didn't mention it. He didn't use the words September 11th. He called it 9/11, talking about the events of 9/11 or 9/11 in his words. And it got me to thinking. I hadn't thought about this previously, I don't think, and I wonder if anybody else has thought about this. When the decision was made to ram these airplanes into the World Trade Center, do you think, and of course this is a personal opinion because I'm sure that nobody knows for sure, but do you think that they chose September 11th because of 9/11? Because in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, in all 50 states, we use 911 on our phones to call emergency services, whether it's the police, ambulance, or whatever. That's our safety number, when there's a concern. And so did they purposely choose that date because it represented security or safety to Americans, and they wanted to make a point that no, you're not safe at any day? I don't know. Curious if anybody wanted to point that out or wanted to give their opinion on that possibility. But that's not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video talking about the differences between, or at least the perception of what people think of the Midwest being more safety conscious, more family friendly, an environment where the people themselves are more friendly and interacting with each other are better, trusting, things like that. And I'm going to use personal examples of my experiences to get people to think. The first instance I'm going to talk about happened 30 years ago. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my skin complexion here, I'm not white, I'm not black, I'm not Mexican, I'm not Arabic. I'm a mix. My mom is white, my dad is black. But I very rarely get it mistaken for a white person. And I'm going to bring that up for a reason. When I was, 30 years ago, when I was in the Navy, I was going to school in Millington, Tennessee, which is near Memphis. While I was there, I had a girlfriend, and she was bleach white, very white. One of those people that didn't go out in the sun very much because she could get burned very easily. She was very white. So it was obviously she was Caucasian. Now around the Navy base, never had a problem, never any concerns, never any issues. But whenever we went to the mall, this happened a couple times. I don't know if she ever noticed this because we never discussed it. But as we would walk through the mall holding hands, people would stop dead in their tracks, like they had seen Jesus walking towards them. And their mouths would be a slack. That deer in the headlights look as her name was Tanya would walk by. That didn't happen every day. Didn't happen all the time. There were only a few people that did it, but it did happen. And at the time, I thought to myself, I wonder what they're looking at. Didn't even dawn on me what it might have been. A couple of years later, I was visiting my father, and my mother commented that somebody she worked with had mentioned at the time when I was in Memphis or Millington, they had mentioned to her, my truck stopped. It's got that, it's called optimized idle, which is supposed to make it stop when the temperature reaches a certain temperature inside the cabin, but it's still flipping hot in here, and the system evidently doesn't work all that great, I guess. Anyway, so I have to either restart it every now and then, or I have to watch when it's going to shut down and push a button. But anyways, that doesn't have anything to do with my conversation. So anyways, my mom had been talking to somebody she worked with, and somewhere in the conversation, I guess this person was from the South, and he told her he better be careful who he's seen with because of prejudiceness. And in my lifetime, I've seen very little prejudice. I've been fortunate, and it's probably because most of my life I haven't lived in the South, where prejudice, I think, is more prevalent. Not to say that you won't find it everywhere, because you do, but I think it's more prevalent in the South. So that was one of the first instances of prejudice I experienced. There's another time, and I don't know where this family was from. In high school, there was a girl who was actually older than me, a year or two older than me, I can't remember anymore. Her name was Kim, and I asked Kim out. We went on a date, see a movie, and it was near the end of the school year. And when I took Kim home, I asked her if I could take her to the prom. And she got this look of disappointment, is the best way I can put it. We'd had a good date, as far as I could tell. She was happy to be with me on that date. So I have to believe what she said was true, although I never pursued it. When I asked her out to the prom, she said she wanted to go with me, but that she couldn't because her dad would not allow it. Again, I don't know the dad from the South, so that may not necessarily relate to this story. Just pointing out that I have had a couple of instances of prejudice in my life relating to, again, the first part I was telling you about. But I'm in the Midwest, and the Midwest and the South are supposed to be the friendly people. So anyways, like I said, I'm here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Decided I wanted to go down to Wal-Mart. So I walked. It's about a mile and a half away. And the Wal-Mart that I went to, I got my map here, was on Eastwood and 29th. Right by the Veridian Credit Union. Anybody that's familiar with this area probably knows exactly where I'm talking about. Anyways, right there at the corner where those two streets come together, the Wal-Mart is on that, across that little driveway there. There's a driveway that enters into there, so you can go to the Wal-Mart, you can go to the Veridian, whatever shops, other shops are back there. I'm not even sure. My first time going over there. But there's a signal light there, and it has a crosswalk with a button you press to signal for the walk. So I'm walking along that street on the side without the sidewalk, but like I said, it does have a crosswalk there. It does have a walk sign and a button. I pressed the button, waited for the walk signal. As the light changed green, I got a walk signal. I turned to my left to make sure there weren't any cars coming, and it's a sure good thing because there were cars coming. So the first car may have started prior to the light switching. I'm not positive, so I'll give them a pass. The second car, definitely, the light had already changed, my walk signal had come up. I turned and I looked again, and this guy kind of waved at me like, thanks for letting me go. No, I wasn't letting him go. I was making sure he wasn't going to run my ass over. And so then the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy, and about 15 cars passed. 2 of the cars had their windows down on the passenger side, so I yelled to them as they went by, something to the effect, just so you know I wasn't rude, I didn't use any bad language. I said something like, do you guys not see the walk signal that allows me to go? So anyways, somewhere around 15 cars went through that signal without allowing me to walk across. By the time it was time for me to go, the hand came up with a countdown. And I don't know what it means here, but I know in California, you're not supposed to start your walk if the hand signal is up. The hand signal is telling you, hey, if you're getting ready to, if you haven't begun your cross, wait. Anybody that's already crossing, hurry your ass up because it's counting down. Now, I don't know how many times in California I've come to an intersection, a stop sign, a signal light, or whatever, and the person at the sidewalk has started walking without even bothering to look. And I've always wondered, are they that sure that one, I've seen them, and 2, I'm going to even care that they're crossing? They're so confident that I'm not going to run them down. I saw on the Yahoo today about a lady that killed her own 2 of her 4 kids and put them in a deep freeze. These are kids that she supposedly loved, her family. These people in the crosswalk, I don't give a shit about. I don't know them. Doesn't mean I'm gonna run them down, but they don't know that. Anyways, like I said, I'm here in Iowa, and these friendly people, family people, don't give a shit about me. If I'd stepped on that road, I might be splattered all over that road right now. I don't know if they would have stopped. Not one of them allowed me to go. I had to wait till every single one of them went before I could step out on the road. And then finally, I mentioned already there was no sidewalk on the side of the street that I was on. There was a sidewalk on the other side. So when I walked back on that side. Of course, eventually that sidewalk ended too. You know, when it comes to family safety and security, sidewalks are the best way to get people, I think, to walk on them, to be safe. The other choice is to walk on in the gutter, not very safe. Or 2, walk on the grassy hill. Well, you walk on a grassy hill, you got slopes and bumps and curves, and your ankles are going this way and that way. It's not very comfortable. It's not very pleasing to walk on that. It's not a flat surface like a sidewalk is. So how come in Cedar Rapids they don't provide sidewalks all the way from point A to point B for people to walk on? Especially around a Wal-Mart. Wal-Mart is known for being a place where the lower income people to poor people shop. Lower income to poor people are going to be walking, bicycling, things other than not always necessarily driving their cars. So you would think that you're going to have a Walmart, that's a concern that you'd want to have. You know that there are going to be people they're going to be walking to these venues or these stores. So why wouldn't you provide a sidewalk all the way there? And then finally, again, concerning safety, I came to the intersection of Williams Road, I think, Williams Avenue Southwest, and Edgewood Road Southwest. 3 lanes going in every direction, plus left turn lanes. Huge intersection. Guess what? No crosswalk, no signal button to signal that I want to walk across to protect me. I've got to take my own life in my own hands if I want to cross that street. Sorry about the light. But you're not watching this YouTube video to see me anyways. Anyway, you know, again, a huge safety issue. What if I got my kid, my daughter's 12 years old? What if she had to walk across that street? You know, and I don't know what the speed limit is there, but it's a huge street, 3 lanes each way, so it's probably about 45 miles an hour. If she tries to run across there and the car's coming 45 miles an hour, it takes a long time to stop. So anybody that's from the Midwest, from the South, or just anybody who wants to comment, I'd like to hear what you think. Have you noticed any of these issues? Any of these concerns? Tell me what you think. Bye.